الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
So my name is Fidel Marsumi. I'm the newly elected council member for the city of Hamtramck. Hamtramck is located in the Michigan, United States, in the state of Michigan, United States, and I've been living in this city for 23, moving on to 24 years now, and I've had the pleasure of actually being able to run an election in 2017, and out of 10 candidates, I was elected as the one of the top three to be able to represent the city. I was born in 1992 in Baghdad, Iraq. I came here in 1995 with my family and went to all the public schools in Hamtramck, graduated from Hamtramck High School, and moved on in 2010 to start at Wayne State University. Graduated from Wayne State University in 2014 with my undergraduate degree in public relations and communications. Moved on to Walsh College to finish my master's in business administration. I finished that last year in 2 years ago in 2016, and now I have 6 weeks left, and I'll graduate with my secondary master's in information technology, and looking forward to marriage in about probably a year and a half, 2 years. But at this current time, I'm working for Philip Morris Marlboro as a territory sales manager. Previous to that, I have experience in the financial industry, the information technology sector, and ultimately just anything when it comes to business strategy and IT and communications. And that's I have a family of my mother and father and my brother and sister. My dad Raif, my mother Zainab, my sister Hayat, 17, and my brother Rafid, who's 13. My sister's ready to start college very soon, and this year actually, and my brother's going to transition into the same high school I went to. My sister's going to go to the same college I went to. I have many family members that are scattered throughout Michigan and Utica, Sterling Heights, Dearborn Heights, and the rest of my family is scattered in Germany, Syria, Iraq, and one in Japan and one in Australia. And we're a happy, loving family that's been able to achieve the American dream and been able to instill our and plant our foundation here, so that my mother and father are able to provide us an opportunity to be able to grow and prosper and gain intelligence and gain knowledge, so that we're able to build a life for ourselves and moving forward with the Al-Marsumi family. I guess that's a little bit about myself.
Great, sir. So would you like to tell us something about the Muslim community living in America?
Absolutely. So I can tell you, I'm a firm believer of, I can tell you what I see with my own eyes, not with what the media paints, not with what other people tell me. I can tell you that Muslim people living in Hamtramck are, they're very proud of their heritage. They're very proud of the religion that they practice, as everyone else is, not just Muslims. In the city of Hamtramck, we have over 27,000 residents that live in 2.1 square miles, and they practice, Catholicism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, some individuals atheism, and we speak, I think they believe they speak over 30 languages and represent over 30 countries. And being able to be a Muslim in this city and be able to practice your religion is amazing. Not many cities have that privilege. I have a few family members that say that, up north in Michigan as well as in other states. I have a family that lives in Texas and a family that lives in California. Some people that can't openly practice their religion because obviously some people have particular beliefs as to what the media has painted about that religion, about Islam. So it's a privilege to be able to live in this very diverse and united city.
So do you see any hardships, Muslim community living in America, and they're facing hardships, difficulties?
Yes, I believe anyone that practices religion and people who don't practice religion face hardships, specifically because we tend to paint a perception about everyone, right? When I went, for example, when 9/11 happened, I remember I was in second grade, and the first thing that happened is My teacher came in and she said, somebody blew up the towers, right? And right when that happened, everybody was shocked, quiet. Some Muslims didn't come to school the next day. And like I said, it happened in Hamtramck where everybody was okay with Islam when people practice, or in Muslim people practicing Islam. And with that happening, moving forward from that moment, it felt you felt scared to be able to share your religion. You felt scared to be able to say that you're a Muslim because people automatically associated you with the bad Muslims, and or the people that were terrorists that happened to practice Islam. And it scared you because you feared that when you tell somebody that you practice Islam, they automatically thought that you were a terrorist, that you were a strong, firm believer of being able to express terrorism onto other countries and onto people. So it was difficult, but living in a city like Hamtramck where 75% of the people are practice Islam, it's very comforting to know that your neighbor practices Islam, but the neighbor that's across from you that doesn't practice it still respects your religion and is still okay with you practicing your religion and is openly willing to understand what religion you practice as well as willing to teach you what they practice. So I can see how outside of Hamtramck it's difficult, but in Hamtramck it's a blessing. Nobody sees you as somebody that utilizes their religion to establish terror onto others, but instead to be able to practice peacefully and be happily and humble living together as one.
Okay. So in your point of view, do you find any connection between Islam and terrorism?
No, I believe terrorism, if you define it, it's the act of being able to portray or establish terror onto people, to make them fear a being or an idea or a thought. And Islam in itself doesn't portray that. Islam portrays peace. Now, there are people that establish terrorism that aren't Muslim, that practice Roman Catholicism or Christianity, and any religion. I believe that there are people that use their religion in order to hurt others and say in the name of God or in the name of Jesus Christ or in the name of Moses or in the name of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, they utilize that to say this is how their religion is and we have to be aggressive and we have to decapitate or kill people, and that's what our religion says. But I mean, if you go back to the books, the holy books, none of them portray that.
So do you feel Muslims are free to practice their religious activity? They can go to the mosque and masjid, and or there is any restriction in America?
Well, in America, so I don't think there's restrictions, but I think there's, in recent events, some people do fear going to particular places because they feel that somebody that doesn't have the same belief as their religion is going to be aggressive towards them. I haven't seen that in Hamtramck. I haven't seen anyone. I've never had fear to go pray Jum'ah prayer, or to be able to pray Salat al-Eid or Salat during Ramadan. Or Taraweeh. I have no fear for my life when it comes to praying or going into mosques. But I can understand how in some areas, yes, like some people do could have an issue with that. So.
Okay. So generally you feel the Muslim community in America, they are peacefully living and they're peaceful life, leading a very peaceful life.
Well, America does provide, it's one of the very few countries that allows you to practice a religion that you want and to share. It's the freedom of speech and the freedom to practice what you want. That is the American dream. That is the ability to be able to establish it. Now, not everybody believes in that. Some Americans don't. They believe that yes, you can have the freedom of speech, and yes, you can practice your own religion if it's the right religion and if it is the right words. Not all areas share that thought, and not all people share that thought. Now, while the Constitution does defend us, and while the government does defend our thought process and our beliefs, some people don't believe in the Constitution, and some people don't believe in having the ability to be able to practice what you want, and that's what inhibits our growth and our success as one.
Sir, I would like to know that after 2016 presidential election, the widespread coverage of Muslims ban, Muslims have somehow this fear in mind that
that they're not welcome?
Negative perception, yes, about the treatment of Muslims in USA, that Muslims are not being treated good in America. So what would you like to say about it?
So, trying to be as I guess as politically correct as possible, and to stay away away from politics as I can. I believe that a lot of things that we do as human beings, we blow out of proportion, and some things we exaggerate when really it's not that crazy. Um, Based on the Islam ban, absolutely. When I came home, my mother and father were just flabbergasted. They sat at home and they were in shock and awe and told me, Fidel, that's it. We don't have a home here anymore. And the thing is, my mother and father are both citizens, right? And my brother and sister are natural born citizens. I was also, I'm not natural born. I became a citizen. But, I mean, yeah, it does scare you. And it does make you feel like you're not welcome. I mean, when our own president, I mean, says things that makes you feel that you're not part of this country, even though, I mean, you were naturalized and you were able to earn your rights or your ability to live in this country, it no longer feels that way. Yeah, you start feeling threatened. You feel like, you know, everything that I've worked for, the same American dream that my mother and father provided me, am I safe? Do I need to buy a home back home? Do I need to buy a home outside of the United States? Are my rights going to be stripped of me someday? So yeah, it puts you in that position, and I'm pretty sure majority of the Muslims feel that way. That what we once could call our land or our home is no longer ours. So.
So you are the role model for youth. I'm not talking about youth in America or Iran or Iraq or Pakistan. I'm talking about the youth in general.
Yes.
So what would you like to say to our youth? I mean, to keep them away from negative activities like terrorism, like drugs and extremism. What should be done?
So what advice do I offer them in general, all youth?
In general, yes.
So I visited Iraq 3 years ago, and I can tell you that it was truly an eye-opening experience because I realized that our youth back home don't have the same motivation and don't have the same backing as we have here, right? If you take a look at it as to one of my best friends is Pakistani, Zain Allahumuddin, right? I love him. I grew up with him since like 8th grade, and this guy, like, when he tells me about Pakistan and what I seen in Iraq and some of my friends that are from Bangladesh and some of my friends that are from Yemen, which obviously I've grown up with here, when they tell me that back home you don't have the same motivation to go out and to actually create something for yourself, it's disheartening for the youth because our mothers and fathers, our grandparents, they worked hard to be able to establish what they could for us, not just the family name and not just to teach you about pride and morals, but to teach you that no matter what you do, if you build a strong work ethic for it, you're going to be able to succeed inevitably. But I can understand as youth, I can understand that sometimes we're pushed to the side by our elders because they feel that we're not ready just yet. My advice to the youth and my advice to my elders as well is to give us an opportunity and give us a chance. If you don't feel that we have the characteristic traits to be able to persevere, to succeed, teach us what we need to do in order to do so. And to the youth, if you don't know something, teach yourself how to do it. If nobody else is doing it, then do everything that you can to be the first person that does it. If it's issues with finances, if it's issues with, if it struggles with, simplistic needs that you need in order to survive, focus on the fundamentals to be able to, just live. And then after that, try to do everything that you can to change your setting, to change your environment. Teach yourself things that you don't know and be able to utilize that. And then once you learn it, teach it to others. We have this false belief that once we make it, that's it, we're done. We don't have to teach anybody else. But no, that's the opposite of what Islam teaches us. That's the opposite of what the main core principle of religions teach us, to be able to teach our brother, to be able, and when you say your brother, it's not just by blood. You teach anybody that's around you and you lift them with you. And that's the one thing that after getting into politics, I've realized it's like, now, like some brothers of mine, they actually want me to succeed. And they're already in a position of power. And they want me to be happy and want me to succeed. But after they want me to succeed, they want me to teach others. And that's something that's truly like it fills you on inside, because you think to yourself, wow, they're not selfish. But then you do run into those people that everybody lift me, carry me together as one. And then when I'm up there, nobody else can come follow me because it's my time. That's not how it should be. So for the youth, learn everything that you can as soon as you can. There is no boundaries as to what you can learn. And then once you do learn it, replicate it to others as soon as you can as well. And always have faith. While you're doing everything that I mentioned, have faith. Believe in Allah, believe in God. Just believe in the fact that there's someone watching over you to make sure that you succeed. And when all else fails, in Arabic it's out, اذكرني في الرخاء واذكرك في الشدة. Remember me during the easy times and I'll remember you during the tough times. Don't just pray to Allah when you need something. Pray to Allah because alhamdulillah He gave you a mother and father. And if He didn't give you a mother and father that's with you, He gave you a brother and sister. And if He didn't give you that, He gave you limbs and arms and legs to be able to walk, to be able to succeed. And if He didn't give you that, He gave you the ability to be able to see or to speak. There's so much that we should be grateful for. But we always, some people, they believe that because you have $9 and not 10, they should pray to Allah to get them 10. While some people are thankful they have 1 and not 0. Just be happy and be thankful. So.
So, what do you think? What Muslims can do to improve their perception in the eyes of Muslim world?
To improve their inform to the best of your ability. Some of my closest friends that aren't Muslim, they respect Islam and they understand that it is a religion of peace, because I describe some hadiths to them as some sects of like the religion itself. For example, my mother is Sunni. My father is Sunni, my mother is Shia. Right, and obviously you see what's going on in the Middle East when it comes to that different sect and beliefs with it. But when I inform people of what it is, they understand that the mass genocide that's occurring because of the sect of Islam that you practice is pointless, because you're still Muslim, right? And being able to replicate that to people, now they understand, okay, so when I see on the news or on the media that Sunnis are killing Shi'is and Shi'is are killing Sunnis, realistically it's Muslims killing one another. And that makes them realize, like, you know what? Now I understand it's a civil war. But before, it would be perceived as terrorism. Oh, they're terrorizing this part of Iraq, or they're terrorizing this part of Iran. No, it's people fighting because of their religion. Just like as you would label if somebody fought here, like during the Crusades, you would say, oh, they fought because of practicing Catholicism, or being Protestant, or being Baptist. Or it gives you better knowledge of it, which is very important.
So, have you ever thought that if you're in a Muslim country or another country, you could have done much better, you could have you could have more successful?
Okay, so from what I've seen and what I've actually had, all of my cousins have degrees. But what do their degrees mean? A lot of them told me, Fidel, like I have many cousins that have a master's in engineering back home, but they work as police officers, or they work like as local retailers, because they're like, my degree isn't worth anything. So if you were to take my exact education, I would have put it back home, I wouldn't be able to be as successful as I am today. But that doesn't mean that there's different types of success, right? There's the ability to be able to raise a family, and that you count that as you being successful. There's being able to teach others some trades or some trades in order to make them successful, and that's, you could define that as success. I think if I went home, I wouldn't be able to run for anything in politics. I wouldn't be able to run for council. It would be quite difficult, probably because of the fact that my mother is Shia and my dad is Sunni. Or it would be difficult because my education wouldn't quantify or be as heavily weighted as it is here. But who knows? Who knows? I didn't have that life. I was blessed to have this one, and I'm going to utilize everything that I have now to be able to benefit people that reach out to me for help, or that I seek and they do need help, to be able to help them and leverage some areas where I could benefit them.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.